video games have been games for as long as there has been video. And so throughout the years, the time has passed year by year. As standards are defined as standard except when they're in high definition or 4K. So too do we play games with gameplay until they are played out or we are outplayed. As we enter the new fiscal year, which is a few months behind the Gregorian New Year, we must remember the times when games came out in a time. These are the top 10 games in decades. The top 10 games in decades. The 2010s thus far have been 8 years of a decade. While there are still 2 years left, it is safe to say there are 2 years left. Nevertheless, it could have a representative in the top 10 games in decades. The 1990s saw the popularity of video games become popular. With advancements in progress, video games could do things they were able to do. Such was the case for Los mejor 10 videojuegos en décadas. The 2000s were a tumultuous time, except when they weren't. The graphics were there, and the internet was only available online. Like the double zeros in its numbers, it's impossible to take our eyes off of this, except to announce
nothing's gonna stop you and me from getting to where we wanna while the beat is kicking. You know that you're my kindred spirit. Fly with me, Jay-Z, and push you to the limit.
You used to hide behind another face. At first I didn't understand, but then I saw in you a kindred spirit. I called your name and held out my hand.
数十年始終ビデオゲームザベスト。The 1960s. The top 10 games in decades. The 1980s had a lot of 8s. Too many, actually.
I came out from the bottom and into the top. For the first time I feel alive. I can fly like an eagle, strike like a hawk. Do you think you can survive? I came out from the bottom and into the top. For the first time I feel alive. I can fly like an eagle, strike like a hawk. Do you think you can survive? The top
10 games in decades. Wait, 2010s? We already did this one! The top 10 games in decades. Honorable mention goes to
Have you ever been close to tragedy? You've been close to folks who have. I'm taking flight, I said I'll never get enough. Have you ever felt the pain so powerful, so heavy you collapse? Staying tall, now we going kind of loud. I'm on top as long as the music's loud.
the top 10 games in decades.
Dateline 1920s, our good old boys found their way home, and the stock market is poised to do stock market things. Someday you'll understand.
我爱北京天安门，天安门上太阳升，伟大领袖毛主席指引我们向前进。我爱北京天安门，天安门上太阳升，伟大领袖毛主席指引我们向前进。我爱北京天安门，天安门上太阳升。
The top 10 games in decades. The 2000s BC were a time that existed. Consult your local library. The top 10 games in decades.
Stand back!
Hey guys, thank you for watching the top 10 games in decades, and big thanks to the Geek Wipe Club for sponsoring this video. If you enjoy videos like this, click the links to some of my other stuff and hit that subscribe button. Plus the bell so you know when my videos go live on this shithole of a site run by a bunch of faceless pricks who don't care about you unless you have at least a 6-figure subscriber count and some juicy blackmail on the higher ups. And while you're at it, consider chipping in a few bucks on my Patreon. You can also find me on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Photobucket, Foursquare, Tumblr, Reddit, Pinterest, Pornhub, DeviantArt, iTunes, LiveJournal, Blogger, SoundCloud, LinkedIn, Yelp, Skype, Dig, Blip.tv, Rever, Vimeo, Newgrounds, Albano Black Sheep, Snapchat, VK, MySpace. No, Leon, we already covered the 90s. Number 10.